It's Micki time, and I know why you love your car, because your car is your private sanctuary. It's that little cocoon that helps with the transition from work to home and home to work. You're all by yourself, except you're not by yourself, because that thing is listening to you, right? Mm-hmm. It feels you.
It does.
It manipulates you.
Does it?
It hears you sing.
It hears everything.
And you've looked into some of the ways that, these are the experts on privacy who have examined cars, and they say that forget about privacy the moment you get into that car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How bad is it, Micki?
Oh, it's bad. Take a listen. You think you're alone while driving your car and talking on the phone, or maybe even singing out loud to your favorite song. Home Alabama. However, someone is listening, and it's your car. Mozilla Foundation, the parent company of the Firefox search engine, says cars are the worst product category it's ever reviewed for its buyer's guide, Privacy Not Included. Can you believe that? Yikes. Spokesperson Jen Coltrider says Nissan, Volkswagen, and Tesla were some of the worst offenders.
So we looked at all 25 car brands on that, and all 25 earned our Privacy Not Included warning label because they don't do a good job.
Coltrider says Nissan's privacy policy tracks some very interesting driver habits.
And sexual activity was listed in that chart of data they say they can collect, and they say they can use that for things like interest-based advertising.
Oh,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, we ask, how is this possible?
That's the thing. We just don't know. What we know is what they publicly say is that they can collect this data.
Mm-hmm. And she says...
And the fact that they say that they can collect it, but then are very clear about the hows and the whys, raises a lot of red flags.
Coltrider says it's next to impossible to opt out of your car's privacy settings.
Tesla is a good example. I mean, Tesla is a connected car. I mean, all modern cars are connected these days, but Tesla is a more connected car, and they say they have a paragraph in their privacy policy that clearly says if you want to opt out of data collection for privacy purposes, you can. But in that same paragraph, they go on to say, oh yeah, but your car might not work or might become unsafe.
This
So
is
there's the trade-off.
I was trying to think like where somebody could pin them up against a wall because of this. And I thought, well, what if you're a therapist or a doctor, and with your spouse you need to talk about a hard day, and you like that, then that data goes to some cloud service.
Yes.
And
Well, now, how is it collected, though? Because we have a two-party consent law in this state. You can't record somebody without their consent.
But there's no federal law. There's no federal law. She says it's very difficult also to have your data deleted because it's just a gold mine of information.
They're collecting as much data on you as they can through your cars with the sensors, the microphones, the cameras that face in, the cameras that face out.
So that answers your question. That's how they're recording you.
Or it could also be possible, too, that when you sign up for the app and you collect yes, you are then thereby giving your proxy consent to that recording.
Mm-hmm. And she says...
all of that is collecting your data. They can reach out and even buy more data on you from data brokers. And then they use it to create things like inferences about your intelligence or your characteristics.
Rude.
And those profiles are very valuable because that's how they target you with marketing and get you to buy more stuff.
They're also tracking your immigration status.
dangerous.
So listen to this. What happens to your passenger's information? So let's say Dave gets into my car, and he's my passenger. Coltrider says,
The privacy policy basically says, hey, you as the owner of this car are responsible for relaying the privacy policy information we tell you in this policy to your passengers.
So where do you find your car's privacy policy?
Well, we've made it easy for you. It wasn't easy because there's a number of them. Toyota had 12 privacy policies. But if you go to privacynotincluded.org and click on our cars category and find your car, we've linked to all the privacy policies right there if you're interested in reading them.
Oh, yeah. I'm very interested in reading them. Coltrider says if you want change, you've got to call, email, or write your state and federal representatives, your congressmen, your senators, and make them aware of what's happening. Now, I reached out to Tesla. I reached out to Nissan. I reached out to some of the other offenders like BMW and Kia, and none of them have responded to our request for comment.
Well, they don't need to. They already know what your request is.
They've been listening to you in your car, Micki.
I know. know.
You're making yourself a target.
I don't know. This sounds like a Bob Ferguson lawsuit opportunity to me.
Yeah.
It's two-party consent state.
But there's no federal law that
federal law, it
prevents
doesn't
them
matter.
to.
The state can pass, just like the state can pass laws and all sorts of things. This is something that the federal government doesn't.
But if you're driving on a highway,
well, I mean, if you're driving
on
in Washington
I-5.
State, if you're here in Washington State, that's where the act is taking place, right?
Well, let's call him.
Absolutely. He's probably listening.